So, and this is for everybody. Talk really loudly and look at us when you say the word, because we're reading your lips. And ideally, when you're spelling out the word, look at us. Because if you're like this, we're basing it a lot on lips. That is correct. Back row, can you hear me okay when I say the word? Excellent. Next speller, please. And so then we always have one on standby. So Anne, you'll go in the standby position.
Yep, so you're going to stand up there. You can get up and stand. Right. Yep.
Tara, your word is tail light. That is correct. And I remind the students also, go for it. These two cameras are for your parents. I was in talks last night. We could not send the live stream to them. Your parents will get this version later today. So if you want to save it for your parents, don't tell them the result and they can watch this later today. Jason is doing it for the classrooms. There's Jason, we all see him. Next speller, please.
So then
On deck, go ahead, yep.
everyone, so
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about on deck. So Anna is our speller right now. So Anna is in the waiting position. Yeah, let's go where that line is perfect right there. See that line? So then when Anna is up, well, what do you know? Here comes Westphal.
yep.
All right, Anne, your word is quicken.
Quicken. Q-U-I-C-K. Quicken.
That is correct. Microphone. All right, Anna, this word has a homonym. I'm going to say the word, and then I'm going to give you both the part of speech and the definition. And for everybody else, remember, you have those 5 questions you can ask if you'd like. So, Anna, your word is presence. The definition: the state of being in one place and not elsewhere. The fact of being in company, attendance, or association. Part of speech: now. Presence.
Presence. P-R-E-S-E-N-T-S. Presence.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. Presence. P-R-E-S-E-N-C-E. Presence. Kenzie, this word has a near homonym. I'm going to say the word, and then I'm going to provide you with the part of speech and the definition. Your word is razz, to tease and banter at, to ridicule. This word is a verb, razz.
Razz. R-A-Z-Z. Razz.
That is correct. Liliana, your word is follow.
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 Follow. I'm going to use it in a sentence for you. uncle's truck up the winding, unmarked country roads to the family cabin. Follow.
Follow.
Say that one more time for me.
Follow.
I'm going to read the sentence again for you. Cynthia followed her uncle's truck up the winding, unmarked country roads to the family cabin. Follow.
Clarify your word.
Follow.
Yes.
Yes, we got that time. Thank you.
Follow. Follow.
That is correct. Landon, your word is purple.
Purple. P-U-R-P-L-E.
That is correct. Alex, this word could be confused with a similar word. I'm going to say the word, and then I'm going to use it in a sentence. Your word is entire. Micah insisted that as the birthday boy, it was his right to eat the entire cake. Entire.
Entire. E-N-T-I-R-E. Entire.
That is correct. A reminder, spellers, to spritz. All right, Kyle. This word could be confused with a similar word. I'm going to say the word, and then I'm going to use it in a sentence for you. Your word is December. Jan's birthday in early December made her a Sagittarius, which she thought suited her adventurous personality. December.
December. D-E-C-E-M-B. December.
That is correct. Shane, this word could be confused with a similar word. I'm going to say the word, and then I'm going to use it in a sentence for you. Your word is sudden. Gloria could never figure out how to handle her mother's sudden changes in mood. Sudden.
Sudden.
Say that one more time.
Sudden. S-U-D-E-E-N. Sudden.
That is correct. Seth, this word could be confused with a similar word. I'm going to say the word, and then I'm going to use it in a sentence for you. Your word is comb. Tamaya's mom always combed and braided her hair at the beginning of the school week. Comb.
Comb. C-O-A-M.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. Gary, your word is patrol. Can you please lower your message just a moment? One more time.
You say the word again?
Yeah. say the word, spell it, and then say it again.
No, you're good.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. You got it right.
Good job, Gary. We just really need you guys to be loud.
Yeah.
We can't.
You know, normally we don't, there's a lot of fans in here. We don't normally have that in the auditorium. So roar like a lion. All right. Abby, this word could be confused with a similar word. I'm going to say the word, and then I'm going to use it in a sentence for you. Your word is window. Two cats took turns watching the birds out of the window by the couch. Window.
Window. W-I-N-D-O-W. Window.
That is correct. Anaya, this word could be confused with a similar word. I'm going to say the word, and then I'm going to use it in a sentence for you. Your word is pocket. He was sure that the note was either in his jacket pocket or squished at the bottom of his backpack. Pocket.
Pocket. P-O-C-K-E-T. Pocket.
That is correct. Gavin, your word could be confused with a similar word. Your word is project. There was no way to transport the flagpole without having it project out of the car window. Project.
Project.
I think I got it. Yep.
P-R-O-J.
That is correct. Malia, your word is goofy.
G-O-O-F-Y.
That is correct. Quinn, your word is remember.
Remember. R-E-M-E-N-D-R. Remember.
That is correct. Thank you. Maya, your word is travel.
T-R-A-V-E.
That is correct. Avery, your word is cranky.
Crank. C-R-A-N-K-Y. Crank.
That is correct. Kaylee, your word is career.
Career. C-A-R-E-I-R-E. Career.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. C-A-R-E-E-R, career. Thank you. Station, your word is disease.
Disease. D-I-S-E-A-S.
That is correct. Devin, your word is trophy. That is correct. Very good recovery. Eric, your word is athlete.
Athlete. A-T-H-L-E-T-E. Athlete.
That is correct. Alyssa, your word is jotted.
Jotted.
Jotted. I'll use in this sentence for you. There was no way Clement was going to remember his aunt's message unless he jotted it down. Jotted.
Jotted. J-O-T-T-E. Jotted.
That is correct. Chloe, this word has a homonym. I'm going to say the word, I'm going to give you the part of speech, and I'm going to give you the definition. Your word is sigh. It is a verb. The definition: released slowly and audibly, a deeply drawn breath, especially as the involuntary expression of weariness, dejection, grief, regret, longing, yearning, or relief. Sigh.
Sigh.
One more second. One more second.
Sigh.
Say it one more time and then you're probably good.
Sigh. S-I-G-H-E. Sigh.
That is correct. Jackson. Jackson, your word is duo.
Duo.
Can you take a minute?
I couldn't get it.
Duo.
Say it. Yeah.
D-U-O.
That is correct. Right, Connor, your word is chose.
Chose. C-H-O-C. Chose.
That's correct. Yeah. Hudson, this word has a near homonym. I'm going to say the word, then I'm going to provide you with this part of speech and the definition. Your word is either. It's an adjective. The one, the definition, the one, or the other one of the two. Either.
Either. E-I-T-H-E-R.
That is correct. Jasmine, your word is rely.
Rely. R-E-L-Y.
That is correct. Kelly, your word is repress. That is correct. That concludes round number one. A reminder, spellers. You are allowed to ask those 5 questions. Repeat the word. Use it in a sentence. Part of speech. Language of origin. Alternate pronunciations. We give you it with the homonyms, but you can ask those anytime you want. You can ask them as many times as you want. All right. We are going to go into round number 2. If you were eliminated in round number 1, you will not come up this time. We thank you for your participation, and we hope you want to be in it again next year, because we'd love to have you. Are there any questions before we begin round number 2?
You gotta ask them out.
One thing I almost forgot to say, a reminder. Every word in a level or a round, let me put it this way. Every word in a round is of the same difficulty level as determined by scripts. We have no control over what word you get and how you perceive its difficulty. Scripts gives us difficulty levels regardless of size of word. So you may think you got a word that's more challenging than somebody else in a round. According to scripts, which is what we go by, they are of the same difficulty level. As the rounds progress, the words in the difficulty level will go up. We will go over winning, probably win the bee when we get closer to that point. Let's continue with the second round. All right, Abby, your word is antsy. That is correct. All right, Tara, this word has a homonym. I'm going to say the word, and then I'm going to use it in a sentence. Your word is Canada. People from Canada have a subtle but delightful accent. Canada.
Canada. C-A-N-A-D.
That is correct. And this word has a near homonym. I'm going to say the word, and then I'm going to provide you with the part of speech and the definition. Your word is bison. It's a noun. Any of several large, shaggy, maned, usually bovine mammals having a large head with short horns and heavy forehorns, surmounted by a large, fleshy hump formed by the withers. Bison.
Bison. B-I-S-O-N. Bison.
That is correct. Mackenzie, your word is dangerous.
Dangerous. D-A-N-G-E-R-O-U-S. Dangerous.
That is correct. Liliana, this word could be confused with a similar word. I'm going to say the word and then I'm going to use it in a sentence for you. Your word is pluck. Lisa very much wanted to pluck the roses at the park, but her mother insisted that she leave them alone. Pluck.
Pluck. P-L-U-C-K. Pluck.
That is correct. 4. Your word is squid. Squid.
S-Q-U-I-D. Squid.
That is correct. Technically, by scripture, you're not allowed to write it. You're correct.
Give it to Jason.
Don't wear it, Jason. All right, Alex, your word is frisbee.
Do we have to say capitals?
No.
F-R-I-S.
Say the word, please. Say frisbee.
F-R-I-S-B-E. Frisbee.
That is correct. Yeah, and that's a good reminder for everybody. If there's a hyphen, if there's a tilde, if there's a capital letter, you don't have to say it. You just say the letters. Colin, this word has a homonym. I'm going to say the word and then I'm going to use it in a sentence. Your word is teeter. When she first started taking classes, Misty used to teeter on her toes. Teeter.
T-E-E-T.
Correct. Shane, this word has a homonym. I'm going to say the word and then I'm going to use it in a sentence. Your word is rallies. Percy hopes her school soccer team rallies before the time runs out. Rallies. Rallies.
Rallies. R-A-L-L-I-E-S. Rallies.
That is correct. Gary, your word is pastry.
Pastry. A-S-T-R-E. Pastry.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. P-A-S-T-R-Y. Pastry. Abby, your word is coveralls.
Origin of languages.
Yes, of course. The first part of this word went from Latin to French to English. The second part of this word is originally English. The word coveralls.
Can you repeat the word?
Your word is coveralls.
Coveralls. C-O-V-E-R-O-L-L-E-S. Coveralls.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. Coveralls. C-O-V-E-R-A-L-L-S. Anaya, your word is ponytail.
Ponytail. P-O-N-Y-T-A-I-L. Ponytail.
That is correct. Gavin, your word is clatter. That is correct. Malia, this word could be confused with a similar word. I'm going to say the word, and then I'm going to give you the part of speech and the definition. Your word is snout. It is a noun. The long projecting nose of any of various mammals, such as the swine. Snout.
S-N-O-U-T. Snout.
That is correct. Quinn, your word is tumbling.
Tumbling. T-U-M-B-L-I-N-G. Tumbling.
That is correct. Maya, your word is cradle.
C-R-A-D-D-L.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. C-R-A-D-L-E, cradle. Avery, your word is firefly. That is correct. Stacia, this word has two correct spellings. Either of the two spellings will be acceptable. Your word is humor.
Humor. H-U-M-O-R. Humor.
That is correct. Devin, your word is mention.
Mention.
That is correct. Eric, this word could be confused with a similar word. I'm going to say the word, and then I'm going to give you the definition and the part of speech. Your word is spoken. It's an adjective. Expressed, told, or delivered by word of mouth. Spoken. Yes. Nate ended the interviews with a spoken gesture of appreciation for everyone's time and followed up with a thank you email later Alyssa, your word is laughter.
Laughter. L-A-U-G-H-T-E-R. Laughter.
That is correct. Chloe, this word could be confused with a similar word. I'm going to say the word, and then I'm going to give you the part of speech and the definition. Your word is bridge. It is a noun, a structure built over a depression or an obstacle to travel, carrying a continuous pathway or roadway. Bridge.
Bridge. B-R-I-D-G-E. Bridge.
That is correct. All right, Jackson, your word is flimsy.
Flimsy. F-L-I-N-S-Y. Flimsy.
That is correct. Connor, your word is pinpoint. That is correct. Hudson, this word could be confused with a similar word. I'm going to say the word, and then I'm going to give you the part of speech and the definition. Your word is slate. It is a noun, a thin, flat slab. Slate.
Slate. S-L-A-T-E. Slate.
That is correct. Jasmine, your word is plush.
Plush. E-L-U-S-H. Plush.
That is correct. Ellie, your word is oncoming. That is correct. That concludes the second round.
No question. Question.
If you are a 5th or 6th grader and have been eliminated, you may return to your classroom. If you are a 7th, if you'd like to, or you can stay if you want. If you are a 7th or 8th grader and have been eliminated, you must stay here. You have to go to the bathroom at some point. Just let one of us know, preferably between rounds. Are there any questions before we move on to round number 3? Jason, I'm going to maybe give you a job. If you have been eliminated, we are going to have you space yourselves out, of course. And I want you to go to these far right or far left bleachers, please. These open ones over here or the open ones over there. Thank you. Jason? I'm going to have you type in the chat the spellers that have been eliminated so far. So every time somebody gets eliminated, I want you to just write it down, and then between rounds, we'll have you type it in. So we have, I'm going to give you their grade. So just type that in the chat, and then I'll have you just kind of do a running list. So I'll have you type that in the chat. Just say eliminated. Jason's setting out for our classroom. He's going to update them on who's been eliminated. While that's happening, I want to remind you of what the awards are for today's event. So, third place, you have a $15 gift card to Barnes & Noble. Second place, a 1-year subscription to Encyclopedia Britannica Research and a $25 gift card to Barnes & Noble. And for a grand champion this afternoon, maybe we'll get to the afternoon, maybe not, I don't know. We have $35 gift card to Barnes & Noble, an entry into the regional spelling bee, which will be taking place in mid-February, where the winner of the regional spelling bee in most years wins a trip to Washington, D.C. internationally. The national spelling bee at this point is in limbo. However, the winner of today's event will win a regional spelling bee entry where they will compete against about 35 to 45 other spellers. And they will also win, we'll make it a little prettier for you, the championship plaque that hang on the wall forevermore. Everybody who participates today will receive a certificate of participation. All 5th graders who entered will receive an automatic entry in the next year's competition. And anybody 6th through 8th grade who placed in the top 10, well, 6th and 7th graders, 8th graders, they graduate off this year, will receive an automatic entry in the next year's spelling bee as well. If you stay with it from 5th grade on, you're always an automatic entry. So we have many 8th graders today who have been in it all 4 years, and we will honor them later on this morning. Also, Mrs. McCabe has doused our ray in syrup, so it is now ready.
It's fine. It's fine. Ingenuity. Spell it. How do you know he is? There we go.
Let's start the round. All right. Abby, your word is whimper. That is correct. Tara, your word is bracelet. That is correct. And your word is inwardly.
Inwardly. INWARDLY.
That is correct. Mackenzie, this word could be confused with a similar word. I'm going to say the word, and then I'm going to provide the part of speech and the definition. Your word is mobility. It is a noun. The capacity or facility of movement. Mobility.
Mobility. MOBILITY. Mobility.
That is correct. Liliana, your word is Eddie.
Eddie. EDDY.
That is correct. Landon, your word is fang.
Frank. FANE. Frank.
That is correct. Alex, this word has a homonym. I'm going to say the word, I'm going to give you the definition, and use the word in a sentence. Your word is bough. It is a branch of a tree. The huge bough just barely missed landing on Mom's new car. Bough.
Bow. BOUGH. Bow.
That is correct. Colin, your word is caution.
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 I'll use it in a sentence. The students were cautioned never to go in the nearby forest at night. Caution.
Caution.
Will you super clarify your words so we know?
Caution.
Yes.
CAUTION. Caution.
That is correct. use it between them.
Yeah.
Shane, your word is accuse.
Accuse. A-C-C-U-S-E-D. Accuse.
That is correct. Anaya, your word is drowsy.
Drowsy. Drowsy. Drowsy.
That is correct. Gavin, your word is scoff.
Yeah, what'd you say?
Scoff, to show contempt by derisive acts or language, to speak contemptuously or with ridicule or mockery. Scoff.
Scoff. S-C-O-F-F. Scoff.
That is correct. Aaliyah, this word could be confused with a similar word. I'm going to say the word, and then I'm going to provide you with the part of speech and the definition. Your word is opposite. It is an adjective. It's diametrically different. Opposite.
Opposite. O-P-P-O-S-I-T-E. Opposite.
That is correct. Quinn, your word is instrument.
Instrument. I-N-S-T-R-U-M-E-N-T.
That is correct. Avery, your word is blissfully. I'm sorry, that is incorrect. B-L-I-S-S-F-U-L-L-Y. Blissfully. Avery started at 5th grade. A-V-E-R-Y. 5th grade. Jason was at the first one. All right. Stasia, your word is activist. We need to sit still.
Will you slow down and clarify?
One more time, please. Really enunciate it.
Activist.
Enunciate the last letter.
Let me use it in a sentence.
Yeah.
The students considered themselves activists in their efforts to save the planet from pollution. Activists.
Activists.
Yep.
Activists. Activists.
That is correct. Devin, your word is commute. That is correct. Eric, this word has a homonym. I'm going to say the word, and I'm going to use it in a sentence for you. Your word is cocoa. After playing in the snow for hours, the children were grateful for warm cups of cocoa. Cocoa.
Cocoa. C-O-C-O-A. Cocoa.
That is correct. Alyssa, your word is nutrients. Yep. That's I know it right away. Yep. It's Nutrients. Alyssa, we know you had it. You'll be in it next year. Chloe, your word is scarcely. Yes, I can. By a narrow margin, only just barely, scarcely. I'm sorry, that is incorrect. S-C-A-R-C-E-L-Y. Jackson, your word is stretcher.
Stretcher. S-T-E-T-C-H-E. Stretcher.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. S-T-R-E-T-C-H-E-R. Stretcher. Jackson, J-A-X-O-N-E. Connor, this word has a homonym. I'm going to say the word and then I'm going to use it in a sentence for you. I'm also going to give you the definition. Your word is layers. The definition: the beds of living places of wild animals. Synonym: dens. In a sentence: a naturalist, Irving, enjoyed tracking the forest's wild animals to their lairs. Lairs. that is correct. Hudson, this word has a homonym. I'm going to say the word, I'm going to give you the definition and a sentence. Your word is mustard. Definition, a pungent yellow condiment consisting of pulverized seeds. The sentence, strong brown, I'll repeat that. Strong brown mustard is the best condiment for a bratwurst. Mustard.
Mustard. M-U-S-T-A-R-D.
That is correct. Jasmine, this word has a near homonym. I'm going to say the word, I'm going to give you a sentence and give you a definition. Your word is goblins. Ugly or grotesque, sometimes conceived as evil and malicious. Sentence, when goblins stole her little brother, Sarah went to go save them. Goblins. Goblins.
Goblins. G-O-B-L-I-N-S. Goblins.
That is correct. Ellie, your word is unnoticed.
Clarify, Mary.
I'm going to use it instead of three. Ginny was disappointed that in the excitement of the first day of school, her new haircut had gone unnoticed. I'm sorry, that is incorrect. U-N-N-O-T-I-C-E-D. Unnoticed. That concludes round number 3. Before we continue, I want to give some special recognition right now. We got a win for Jackson Miller, please. Where is he? Jackson Miller. He's been in all 4 years, including Transfer. 3rd year, but you were runner-up in 2000. Second place, yeah. He was runner-up in 2019. He's been a great competitor over the years, and this is his final company. Let's hear it one more time for Jackson Miller. If you are a 5th or 6th grader and were eliminated in the last round, you may go back to your classroom if you wish, or you may go to the far right.
Yep.
And it's not spelling.
Are we listening to people in the crowd?
All right, level 4, or round 4, excuse me, round 4. All right. Abby, your word is lento. Lento. I certainly can. Miss Lewis pointed out the passage was marked lento, but unfortunately, Ginny kept rushing through it. Lento.
You got it. You got
Language of origin, you said? Language of origin on lento. This word came to English from Italian, which took it from a Latin word, lento. That is correct. Tara, your word is Scandinavia.
Scandinavia. Scandinavia.
That is correct. And this word has a near homonym. I'm going to say the word and then I'm going to use it in a sentence. Your word is opus. Mozart's first opus, featuring several violin sonatas, dates back to when he was between 6 and 8 years old. Opus.
Opus. O-E-U-S.
That is correct. Mackenzie, your word is pedestrian.
Pedestrian. E-P-D-E-S-T-R-I-A-N. Pedestrian.
That is correct. Liliana, your word is snorkels.
Snorkels. Snorkels. S-N-O-R-K-L.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. It is S-N-O-R-K-E-L-S. Snorkel. Landon, your word is lullaby.
Lullaby. L-U-L-L-A-B-B-Y. Lullaby.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. Lullaby. L-U-L-L-A-B-Y. Lullaby. Alex, your word is portrait.
Portrait. F-O-R-T-R-A-N. Portrait.
That is correct. Ladies and gentlemen, a reminder to leave your mask on. Ladies and gentlemen, a reminder to leave your mask on. Thank you. Back to the stuff. Colin, your word is tangents.
Tangents. Tangents. Tangents.
That is correct. Shane, your word is expression.
Expression. Expression. Expression.
That is correct. Anaya, your word is violin.
Violin.
Violin. I will say this sentence. A legendary composer played the violin as his favorite instrument. Violin.
Violin. VIOLIN.
That is correct. That's the best one. Gavin, your word is semicolon.
Semicolon. Semicolon.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. Semicolon. 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 Malia. This word has a near homonym. I'm going to say the word and then I'm going to use it in a sentence for you. Your word is patent. The lawyer maintained that the statement by the witness was a patent fabrication. Patent.
Did you repeat that?
Patent.
PATENT.
That is correct. Quinn, your word is incantations.
Did you repeat that?
Incantations.
Incantations.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. INCANTATIONS. KWINN. She's a seventh.
Landon, put it up, or you're out.
Station, your word is venture.
Daschner.
Sorry, this is another clarifying.
I'm going to use it in a sentence. The explorer Thor ventured across the Pacific Ocean. Ventured.
Daschner.
Triple clarify. Do it again.
Daschner.
Really enunciate.
Say your ending really well.
Daschner.
Yes.
DENTUR.
That is correct. word has an air homonym. I'm going to say the word and use it in a sentence. Your word is feta. The feta crumbled on the Greek salad. Feta. Respell exactly how you had it. We didn't hear the first part. I'm sorry, that is incorrect. It is F-E-T-A. Feta. Eric, your word is proverb. Proverb. A famous Japanese proverb runs, "The nail that sticks out gets hammered down." Proverb.
Proverb.
Say that again, please.
Proverb. P-R-O-V-E-R-D. Proverb.
That is correct. 164. Connor, this word could be confused with a similar word. I'm going to say the word, and then I'm going to give you the part of speech and the definition. Connor, your word is indecipherable. It is an adjective. The definition: cannot be converted into intelligible form. Indecipherable.
Indecipherable.
You want to take your best shot?
Indecipherable.
Very close, Connor. It was I-N-D-E-C-I-P-H-E-R-A-B-L-E. Indecipherable. Jason, you got the C-O-N-N-O-R. Hudson, the word is podium. That is correct. Jasmine, your word is Aztec.
Aztec. A-Z-T-E-C. Aztec.
That is correct. That concludes round number 4. Before we continue, we'd like to give special recognition at this time to Liliana Blaisdell. Liliana is an 8-year who competed all 4 years, I believe, and she always tried her best to put on a lot of spelling bee, and she'll be greatly missed next year. Let's hear it one more time for Liliana. If you are a 5th or 6th grader and were eliminated, you may, if you want to, you may stay, or you may return to your classroom. If you are a 7th or 8th grader and were eliminated, you are going to be asked to go to the far left or the far right. We will now begin the 5th round in just a few moments. This is the data as a comment. The quality of the spellers in this meeting might be the best ever. Normally by this point we're honored, but the spellers this year have upped their game a little bit, and we are very impressed. Yes, Juliana. you have a ride home and you can call and you have a device on you, you can. They just don't want you loitering in the hallway. Could be. Yeah.
Even if you're still in, it'll just help us look.
Abby, your word is laboratory. Let me say that again. Laboratory. I'm going to use it in a sentence for you. Albert's mother told him that experiments with explosions should be conducted in a laboratory, not her kitchen. Laboratory. I can't hear a word you're saying. That is correct. Tara, your word is sinister.
Sinister. S-I-N-I-S-T.
That is correct. And this word could be confused with a similar word. I'm going to say the word and then I'm going to give you the part of speech and the definition. Your word is rooms. It is a plural noun. The definition: characters of the alphabet relating to the ancient Scandinavians. Runes.
Runes. R-U-N-E-S.
You repeat that spelling?
R-U-N-E-S.
That is correct. Mackenzie, your word is convulsive.
He is in a sentence.
Wait a minute. Yes, I can use it in a sentence. The convulsive movements of the sparrow caught in the netting made it hard to free the bird. Convulsive.
Convulsive. CONVOULSIVE. Convulsive.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. CONVULSIVE. Convulsive. All right, Alex. Alex, your word is ancestors.
Ancestors. ANCESTORS. Ancestors.
That is correct. Colin, your word is detergent.
Detergent.
That is correct. Shane, your word is she.
Say it loud and clarify.
She.
I'm going to use it in a sentence. The knight sheathed his sword to signal to his adversary that he was willing to make peace. She. Enunciate a little more, please.
She.
There you go.
SHEAHEAHE.
That is correct. Anaya, your word is streamlet.
Say that again.
Oh, yes, yes.
Can you repeat the word?
Yes, of course. Streamlet.
Streamlet. STREAMLT.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. STREAMLET. Streamlet. Very good, very good, very impressive. Spelling on that?
ANIYAH. ANIYAH.
Malia, your word is congratulate. Yes, congratulate.
Congratulate. C-O-N-G-R-A-T-U-L-A.
That is correct. Stacia, your word is binary.
Binary. B-I-N-A-R-Y. Binary.
That is correct. Eric, your word is contingent. Maybe. Contingent.
Contingent. C-O-N-T-I-N-G-E-N-T. Contingent.
That is correct. Hudson, your word is fountain. Fountain. That is correct. Jasmine, your word is jasper.
Jasper. J-A-S-P-E-R. Jasper.
That is correct. That concludes round number 5. Once again, very impressed by the spellers today. Yes, Abby Balzati. Once again, if you were eliminated in the last round, you're a 5th or 6th grader, you're invited to stay. If you'd like to go back to the classroom, you may. 7th or 8th grader, we'd like you to stay, but if you have a ride available, a exit, don't forget anything you left in my classroom. Let's begin the round. All right. All right. Round 6. Abby, this word could be confused with a similar word. I'm going to give you the word, part of speech, and a definition. Your word is scallion. It's a noun. A young onion pulled before the bulb has enlarged. Scallion. Yes. The word scallion originated from an ancient Palestinian geographical name. This word then passed through Latin and Anglo-French before becoming English. Scallion. I'm sorry, that is incorrect. S-C-A-L-L-I-O-N. Scale. Jason will explain the elimination a little bit. Tara, this word is a near homonym. I'm going to say the word and then give you the sentence. Your word is hurdle. Maria told her little brother to hurdle as fast as he could in his upcoming race. Hurdle.
H-U-R-T-L.
That is correct. And your word is intoxicating.
Intoxicated.
Intoxicating.
I-N-T-O-X-I-C-A-T-I-N-G.
That is correct. Alex, your word is porcupine.
Porcupine. P-O-R-C-U-P-I-N. Porcupine.
That is correct. Colin, this word could be confused with a similar word. I'm going to say the word, give you the part of speech, and then I'm going to give you the definition. Your word is ineffective. It's an adjective. Not capable of performing the required work. Ineffective.
Ineffective. I-N-E-F-E-C-T-I-V. Ineffective.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. I-N-E-F-F-E-C-T-I-V-E. Shane, your word is trough. Yeah. It was one of Jasmine's chores every morning to fill the trough with water for the pigs. Trough. I'm sorry, that is incorrect. T-R-O-U-G-H. Trough. word has a homonym. I'm going to give you the word that I'm going to use in a sentence for you. Your word is leach. In science class, Miranda was able to leach out alkali from ashes by using a liquid mixture. Leach.
Language of origin.
The language of origin on leach, probably an original English word. Leach. Definition. A strong, enraged feeling. Forgive me, I was reading the wrong word. The definition of leach. To dissolve out by the action of a percolating liquid. Leach. That is correct. Stasia, this word has a homonym. I'm going to give you the word and then use it in the sentence. Your word is wrath. Zeus's wrath was legendary on Mount Olympus, and the other gods knew to stay away from him when he was upset. Wrath. That is correct. Eric, your word is corporate. Corporate.
Corporate. C-O-R-P-O-R-A-T. Corporate.
That is correct. Hudson, your word is propane. That is correct. Jasmine, your word is dissuade. Dissuade. Yes, I can. Victor tried as hard as he could to dissuade the little brother from eating the entire container of ice cream by himself, but he was unsuccessful. Dissuade. I'm sorry, that is incorrect. D-I-S-S-U-A-D-E. Dissuade. That was, that concludes round number 6. Before we continue, we'd like to give some special recognition at this time to 2 8th graders. Let's hear it for Shane Witz. Shane Witz, at 3rd Okay, round 7. Tara. Divulge.
Divulge. D-I-V-A-L-G. Divulge.
Sorry, that is incorrect. D-I-V-U-L-G-E. Divulge. And this word could be confused with a similar word. I'm going to give you the word, part of speech, and a definition. Your word is meditation. It is a noun. A private devotion or spiritual exercise consisting in deep, continued reflection. Meditation.
Meditation. M-E-D-I-T-A-T-I-O-N. Meditation.
That is correct. Alex, this word could be confused with a similar word. I'm going to say the word, then give you the part of speech and the definition. Your word is franchise. It is a noun. The right granted to an individual or a group to market a company's goods or services in a particular territory. Franchise.
Franchise. F-R-A-N-C-H-I-S-E. Franchise.
That is correct. Stacia, your word is embellishes.
Embellishes. I-N-B-E-L-I-S-E-S.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. It is E-M-B-E-L-L-I-S-H-E-S. Eric, your word is rummages. Definition. Make a thorough search in, looks through every section of. A synonym, ransacks. The word rummages. Language of origin. This word was formed in French from originally Latin and Germanic derived Latin parts.
Rummages. R-U-M-M-A-G-E-S.
That is correct.
Ian, did you go this round? What's going on? Someone tell us what's going on.
Yep. Anne and Stacia, will you approach the booth, please? Great. All parties involved, approach the booth, please. Eric, you are fine.
Okay, what's the order?
Here. So here's what we're going to do. So then, Stacia, then we will, she will get through. Yeah, Don will be after. Eric is going to be fine. And then next round, we got to pick.
You're still in. Let's
But-
just sit closer to each other.
Yeah.
So now technically you will do you and then we'll do
Yeah.
you. And then we'll do you, right, Hudson?
spellers, we are going to make a ruling right now. A speller was out of order, and the elimination of Stasia has been nullified, and she will go after Malia. Eric is going to stay as is. Malia will spell, followed by Stasia, and then in round 8, we're going to tighten up a little bit so that mistake doesn't happen again. Stasia will still have to get the word correct this round and continue. So, Jason, you can nullify Stasia's elimination rate. Yep. Yep. Okay. Malia, your word is engrossed. Yes. Completely occupied or absorbed. Engrossed.
Engrossed.
Engrossed. I'll use it in a sentence. Xavier was engrossed by the new fantasy series from his favorite author. Engrossed.
Engrossed.
That is correct.
Let's try this again.
Stasia, your word is hindmost. In a desperate attempt to not be the hindmost in the race, Brett pumped his arms and focused on crossing the finish line. Hindmost.
Hindmost. H-I-N-D-M-O-S-T. Hindmost.
That is correct. Thank you. This word could be confused with a similar word. I'm going to say the word, then provide the speech and definition. Your word is eviction. It is a noun. The act of or process of putting out a person from property by legal process. Eviction.
Eviction. E-V-I-C-T-I-O-N.
That is correct. That concludes round number 7. If anybody was eliminated in the last round, we ask that you go to the far left or far right. If you're a 5th or 6th grader, you may depart your class if you wish. If you're a 7th or 8th grader, you may stay or get up and go, but you cannot loiter in the hallway. Tighten up, please. The active spellers, tighten up. While Jason is getting ready with everything, maybe he's already finished. I want to talk about end of the beat procedure. Let's just say a speller is the only one to get a word right in the round. That does not make the speller the champion. The speller, he or she, will have to then answer and spell correctly the championship word. We will then go for 2nd and 3rd place if we have to. We have 6 spellers left. I anticipate we will be talking about this more in the coming round. Let's begin the round. And your word is copious.
Copious. C-O-P-I-O-U-S. Copious.
That is correct. Alex, your word is protruding. Oh, we need paper.
protruded. P-R-O-T-R-U-D-I-N-G. Protruded.
That's correct. Aaliyah, your word is substantial. Substantial. I'm sorry, that is incorrect. S-U-B-S-T-A-N-T-I-A-L. Substantial. Yes. Yes, and a reminder, you are not eliminated until the end of the round. So potentially, if you spell a word wrong, you may not be out. It depends on how many we have left at the end of the round. What I said. Station, your word is authority.
Authority. A-T-H-O-R-I-T-Y.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. A-U-T-H-O-R-I-T-Y. Authority. A reminder, you have not officially been eliminated yet. Eric, following word has two correct spellings. Either will be accepted. Your word is minimize.
Minimize. M-I-N-I-N-I-C. Minimize.
That is correct. All right. Hudson. Following word has two correct spellings. Either will be accepted. Your word is flamingos.
Flamingos.
Yes, that is correct. If you misspelled a word in this past round, you have officially been eliminated. That concludes the round.
Awesome job.
Yes. Very impressive. 5th or 6th graders who were eliminated in the past round may stay or depart back to their class. If you're worried about lunch, we'll make sure everybody gets a lunch. Don't worry. Now we're down to 4. So we're really that final round stuff is really going to come in now. So if you're out, you're not necessarily out. Eric, I know, but ask permission next time. Yeah. So finish the text. Yep. And then by scripts rules, you have to have a device off you. Yep. Thank you. Let's begin the round. Final 4. And your word is parishioner. I'm sorry, that is incorrect. P-A-R-I-S-H-I-O-N-E-R. Once again, Ann, you have not been eliminated. Alex, your word is astrologers.
Astrologers. A-S-T-R-O-L-O-G-E-R-S. Astrologers.
That is correct. Eric, your word is shrike. Any of numerous birds that have a strong notched bill hooked at the tip. Shrike, the tip. Shrike.
Shrike. S-H-R-I-K-E. Shrike.
That is correct. Hudson. Your word is stalagmite. Stalagmite. I'm sorry, that is not correct. S-T-A-L-A-G-M-I-T-E, stalagmite. All right, so Ann and Hudson, when Eric and Alex are finished, Ann and Hudson are going to have a spell off for third place. So neither have been eliminated. However, you have been eliminated from getting first or second place. Gentlemen will compete for the championship. Remember, if one speller gets one right and one gets one wrong, that speller who got one right is not the champion. He will have to answer and spell correctly the championship word. If he gets it right, he wins. If he gets it wrong, new round with both spellers. Alex will begin the round. Alex, your word is a near homonym. I'm going to say the word, and then I'm going to use it in a sentence for you. Your word is traitorous. Jessie declared her brother to be a traitorous imp after he told their mother what happened to the last of the cookies. Traitorous.
Traitors. T-R-A-I-T-O-R-O-U-S. Traitors.
That is correct. Eric, your word is condominium.
Condominium. C-O-N-D-O-N-I-N-I-U-M.
That is correct. That concludes the round. Alex will begin the next round. Let's begin right away. Round 11. If you have to depart, thank you. Alex, your word is intercede.
Repeat that.
Intercede.
Intercede. I-N-T-E-R-C-E-D-E. Intercede.
That is correct. Eric, this word could be confused with a similar word. I'm going to say the word and then use the part of speech and the definition. Your word is defector. It is a noun, one that forsakes or falls away from a cause, party, or doctrine. especially in order to embrace another. Defector.
Defector. D-E-F-E-C-T-E-R. Defector.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. Defector. D-E-F-E-C-T-O-R. Alex will now receive the championship word. If he gets the word correct, he is our 2021 champion. If he gets it incorrect, Eric is back in. Alex, your word is psychiatrist.
Psychiatrist. P-H-Y-C-I-A-T-R-I-S-T. Psychiatrist.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. P-S-Y-C-H-I-A-T-R-I-S-T. Psychiatrist. With that, Eric has been re-entered, but it is Alex who goes first in the round. Alex, your word is irreversible.
Irreversible. I-R-R-E-V-E-R-S-A-B-L-E. Irreversible.
I'm sorry, that is not correct. I-R-R-E-V-E-R-S-I-B-L-E. Irreversible. Eric, your word is apparition.
Apparition. A-P-P-E-R-I-S-I-O-N. Apparition.
I'm sorry, that is not correct. A-P-P-A-R-I-T-I-O-N. Yep. So Alex will now come back up to start round number 14. All right. Alex, this word has two correct spellings. Either will be accepted. Your word is mustache.
Mustache. M-O-U-S-T-A-C-H-E. Mustache.
That is correct. Eric, likewise, your word also has two correct spellings. Either will be accepted. Eric, your word is scepter.
Scepter. S-C-E-P-T-E-R. Scepter.
That is correct. This is round 14. Thank you. We're now entering round 14. Yep. Alex, your word is exhalation.
Definition.
Yes, of course. The definition for exhalation. Exhalation. The action of forcing air out of the lungs by means of a complex of essentially reflex actions. Exhalation.
Exhalation. EXHALATION. Exhalation.
That is correct. Eric, your word is clamorous.
Use it as a sentence.
Yes, I can. The clamorous ovation brought the conductor back on stage for an encore. Clamorous.
Glamorous.
Say it clearly.
Glamorous.
Enunciate.
Glamorous.
Ready.
Glamorous. Glamorous. CLAMOROUS. Glamorous.
That is correct. I don't want to.
Round 15.
Alex, this word has a homonym. I'm going to say the word, then use it in a sentence. Your word is chauffeurs. Team members hired 2 chauffeurs to take them to their off-site meeting. Chauffeurs.
Chauffeurs. CHOUFERS. Chauffeurs.
Sorry, that is not correct. Chauffeurs. CHAUFFEURS. Eric, this word could be confused with a similar word. I'm going to say it, and then I'm going to give you the part of speech and the definition. Your word, proscenium. It is a noun. The wall that separates the stage from the auditorium in a modern theater. Proscenium.
Proscenium. PROSCENIUM. Proscenium.
That is correct. Eric will now advance to the championship word. Eric, your word is bitumen.
Use it as a sentence.
Bitumen was used for centuries to waterproof wooden ships. Bitumen.
Look at the definition.
A various mixture of hydrocarbons that occur naturally or are obtained as residues from naturally occurring substances. Bitumen.
Bitumen. BITUMIN. Bitumen.
I'm sorry, that is not correct. BITUMEN. So with that, we go to the next round with Alex re-entering. Okay. Alex, this word has a near homonym. I'm going to say the word, then use it in a sentence for you. Your word is soleil. Nancy marveled at the soleil finish on the antique wooden desk. Soleil.
Soleil. SOLEIGH. Soleil.
I'm sorry, that is not correct. SOLEIL. This word is a homonym. I'm going to say the word, and then I'm going to use it in a sentence. Your word is marquee. Though he may not have a marquee name, the character actor always improves in his films. Marquee. Language of origin for marquee. It's a French word of Germanic origin. French to Germanic. Marquee.
Marquee. M-A-R-K-E.
That is not correct. It is M-A-R-Q-U-E-E. Still got a couple. Alex, your word is scuttlebutt.
Scuttlebutt. S-C-U-T-T-L-E-B-U-T-T. Scuttlebutt.
That is correct. Eric, your word is chalet. Language of origin is French.
Chalet. S-H-A-L-E-I-G-H. Chalet.
I'm sorry, that is not correct. It is C-H-A-L-E-T. Chalet. This is the championship word. Alex, your word is Salzkammergut.
Use that in a sentence.
Yes. In northern Austria, there is a resort district located east of Salzburg known as Salzkammergut.
Definition.
Definition. It is that same resort that we just discussed, containing notable salt deposits. It is a chief town in northern Austria. Salzkammergut.
Salzkammergut. Z-A-L-T-S. C-A-M-M-E-R-G-O-U-T. Salzkammergut.
I'm sorry, that is not correct. S-A-L-Z-K-A-M-M-E-R-G-U-T. Salzkammergut. Yes, so Alex reenters. Alex, your word is, it could be confused with a similar word. I'm going to give you the word and then the definition. Your word is Lutheran. A Lutheran relating to Luther or his doctrines, or to be a member of the Lutheran Church. Lutheran.
Lutheran. L-U-T-H-E-R-A-N. Lutheran.
That is correct. Eric, your word is Niagara.
Niagara. Niagra.
I'm sorry, that is not correct. Niagara. Alex will now come up for the championship word. Alex, your word is litany.
You can use it in a sentence.
Yes, I can. The drug has a litany of possible side effects.